Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. A huge thank you to my patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel, and a big thank you to all my subscribers. You guys do your part. I really appreciate it. When you give me those likes and when you comment down in the comment section, that's what lets YouTube know other knife lovers would want to check out the channel. I really appreciate that support. Thank you very much, guys. So, I've had this Spyderco Delica 4 in the red and black Zome with the black 20 CV blade for about 3 weeks, and it is time to send it home. Aww. Yeah, it is time to send it home. I'm sure the owner misses it very much, but I really appreciate this being loaned to me. So let's do a once-over, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So if you didn't see my unboxing of this knife, here's this side. It has a really nice flat grind, and I like the way the blade slopes down here at the end to help strengthen the tip, just the tip. And then here you can see we have a Spyderco CPM 20CV. Fancy, fancy, fancy blade. And this is really nice texture. You know, I wasn't sure what I thought about the FRN handles, but they're not that bad. They have a pretty good texture. And you can see it says right here, Delica 4. And this is a tip up and tip down, right hand to left hand carry with a standard Spyderco clip. And you can see it's all blacked out hardware, which is very nice, very, very nice. And I'm putting fingerprints on it. I just cleaned it, and I didn't clean out the Spidey hole. And this is a lockback, but it's a pretty nice looking knife. I really like the color design. Here's this side. Here's this side. You can see there's Sal Glesser's mark right there. So that's very nice, very, very nice. Let me set this down for a quick screenshot. So this is a DLT exclusive Delica, this color pattern. It has the 20 CV blade steel, and this one's $115 at DLT trading. But you can get this knife, I think for around $80, $84 with the VG10 blade steel at a bunch of online retailers, including White Mountain Knives. And that's where, if you get this with my discount, it's going to knock it down to like 75 bucks with my 10% discount code. It's in the description. But with that, there's three total 10% discounts down there, affiliate links, all that good stuff. Just go check it out. You won't be disappointed. There's also links to all the stuff that I buy and that I recommend down there. But anyway, so here's a quick rundown. Let's get a zoomage in here. Here's a quick rundown. So the total length is 7.13 inches. The blade length is 2.92 inches. And it has this nice black titanium nitride coating, which is very nice. Very, very nice. The sharpen length is 2.56 inches. Your blade width is 1.04 inches. Has a blade stock thickness of 0.094. A very thin blade stock for sure. It's very, very, very sharp. It has a nice laid back edge, but it is 17 thousandths behind the edge. Here's the thing. It has good geometry. It slices like a laser through cardboard because it has that thinner blade stock, even though it's 17 thousandths behind the edge, and that doesn't mean it's bad, but I do like Spyderco's grind being laid back more. That's really nice. But your close length is 4.25 inches from tip to tip. And then you have a handle width of 0.9. So the handle's not quite an inch wide, and the handle thickness is super thin at 0.39 inches. So, you know, it's nice and slender in the pocket. That's very nice, very, very nice. Now, this particular one's made in Seki City, Japan. And I think it says that. Yes, it does. Right there, it says that. So as far as your fit and finish, this, I haven't gone, you know, hot and heavy on cutting with the blade. You know, it's not my knife. I didn't want to go crazy with it. I did cut cardboard, and this thing just melts through cardboard. I mean, just super easy. It's really nice in that aspect. As far as the finish, I mean, you know, the scales look really nice. I really like the color. Everything, the coating on everything looks really nice. Looks like, you know, here's a couple spots where I think that's to be expected with any Spidey clip that's coated. That's going to happen. You're going to have little edges come off the edges, paint come off the edges, whatever. Coating. There we go. I got it. Yeah. You do have a lanyard hole going on right there. Yeah, right there. Other than that, the finish of it doesn't look too bad. Inside here, you can see that we're well milled out. You can see the liner going through there. It's not a full liner per se. I don't know what it's definitely nested, and there's good milling on both sides. If you look through there, if you look there we go. If you look all along the edge there, you can see the holes are milled out for weight, so that's very nice. So that's good right there. Now, here's something that I've definitely noticed is when it comes to blade play up and down, I can feel it. So let me see if you can hear this. There's a little bit of blade play, and it's a noticeable click. But now, if I just do this lightly with my hands, you know, just lightly go like this, I don't feel it. If I give it some pressure, I feel the click. And now, here's something I've noticed with it as far as left and right. The blade play. Let me get it focused here for you. Are we going to focus? All right, so as far as blade play, there's a little bit of blade play going on. And if you look right here, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of blade play, but no, it's not. If I grab the blade here and do the same thing, the blade is so thin that you can kind of bend it. I'm not putting a ton of pressure on it either, but the blade does actually bend. But when I go like this, if you look in between the scales, you'll see light come through. Let me try to hold it still. Can you see what's going on there? It's not a lot of blade play, but it is noticeable. It's not a ton, but it's kind of like, rather than blade play, it's kind of like flex. It's like flex in the scales, but it definitely moves back and forth. So that's just something I noticed. It doesn't take away from any strength, but it is something that I definitely noticed. And then I know that there's a group, not a group, there's a lot of folks that don't like coated blades. And while I didn't scratch anything, you know, cutting cardboard or anything like that, I did notice right here, you can see from being shut that there's some marks going right there. And I'm guessing that's just, you know, all along here that it's getting wore in. Now this right here looks like it's down to the metal, but this right here is marked up, and maybe that's why folks don't like coated blades. But, you know, my understanding is the reason you get the coating on the blade is to protect the blade. And if it gets marked up, then you're not using it. But, you know, there's different schools of thought on that. But I did want to mention that I noticed this going on right here and inside here. So there's that. Take that for what it's worth. So now let's do some size comparisons. Quick housekeeping note, Beez Blades now has a community tab, guys and gals. That's where I'll post announcements, polls, giveaway information. So make sure you check that often. Go follow me on Instagram. And in the description of my videos, there's my address, email address, Instagram, and my 10% off discount codes, all that good stuff that I told you about before. I've told you many times, but just a reminder. And if you will, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, I'll take it. And please make a comment in the comment section. I appreciate it. Whether or not you have an opinion on this knife, or if you just want to say hello to me or hello to everyone, that makes this a lot of fun. So as far as your thickness, here is the QSP Penquin. So there's your thickness for those two. You can see the Penguin's got some considerable girth. And here is another popular one. There's the Pilar 3. So you can see that one's got some thickness on it. Now I'm going to show you some other Spydercos. Here's a Spyderco Tenacious. And it's really cool to be able to compare some Spydercos because I've got some loaners going on right now. And here's the Manix 2. You can see the Manix 2 is actually not that much thicker. And I'm going to show you another one. Here's the Native 5 to compare. Not a whole lot of difference thickness-wise, just a tad. And one more. Here's the Endura. Now the Spyderco Endura is really close, but it's, you know, it's about the same as the others. So let's do a side-by-side for you guys. Let's do some side-by-sides. Side-by-side. All right. Got to put out the regulars. You know it. Here's the Tenacious. And here is the Manix 2. Of course they're bigger, but if you have one of these knives and you don't have a Delica, maybe this will help you decide what you want to get, or if you want it. So there's that. There's your size comparison. Obviously, this is a little knife, but it does have a full-size handle. These are just bigger handles, and we'll go over ergos here in a minute. And put these two back out here. Here's QSP Penquin, which a ton of people have. A literal butt-ton of people have. And if you guys hang out in the chats of the live streams, you'll get what I just said there. Look at that. So, you know, size-wise, it's pretty comparable to the CRKT, other than having a sloped blade going on. Now here's the Endura. This is what I wanted to see. Here's the Endura, and here's the Delica, and there's one in the middle, the Endela. I don't have that one, but that would fall right in between these two. So you could imagine if you had one in between these sizes, you would have the Endela. So here's the Endura, and here's this one, and here's the Native 5. Spyderco. Look at all those Spidey holes. So there's the Native 5. Now it's very comparable to the Native 5, except for the Native 5, you do have this finger choil up here, and as far as sharpen length, pretty much identical sharpen length with the Native 5. And of course with the Endura, you're going to have I don't know, what is that, about not quite an inch of extra sharpen length going on there. But it's not too bad. It's pretty close. So this is really the comparison that I wanted to see size-wise. So that'll help you out. And if you have this one and you were wondering about the Native 5, so there's the Native 5 in comparison as far as handle. So maybe that'll help you out, maybe it won't. Now, as far as deployment, you know, there's a few different ways. Let me back out just a tad here for you. So you've got the typical two-handed deployment. Sometimes I forget to show that, but that is an option. You know, that's what Mrs. Beez prefers. So there's your two-handed option. And then, of course, you can flick it pretty easily with your thumb. And then it'll stop about midway, and it snaps shut really nice. You can Spidey flick it. It's not the super easy, super smooth, kind of fidgety kind of Spidey flick, but you definitely can Spidey flick it. That's definitely an option. So there's your ways of deployment. The thumb is really easy. Now for your ergos, my hand, and let me back out a little bit more for you. My hand from here to here is 4 inches. From here to here is 3.5. And then from right here to the end of my finger is 7.25. So that'll give you an idea of the size of my hand. Now here's your ergos. It fits the hand really nicely. It fits pretty well. Now, if I'm squeezing on it, I'm not going to be doing this for heavy use. This is a nice, light EDC knife. This isn't something you're going to be really cranking down heavy doing things. So as far as that, the ergos aren't bad. This right here, the what do you call that? The bill, I kind of feel it. It kind of gets me in the wrong spot. Seemed like when I first looked at it, I don't remember that. But that's why, you know, when you first open a knife, first look at it, you don't have time to use it or get a feel for it. I do kind of feel that dude poking out just a little bit. It's not too hateful because if you're not using this for hard use, it's really not going to bother you. The jimping back here, along the back, if you can see that, let me do this so you can see it. The jimping is nice. It's not aggressive. It just, your thumb just falls right on it. It's comfortable. As far as utility cuts, I did a little bit of utility cutting with it, and it's very comfortable for that. You know, I really like the blade shape on this sucker. It is pretty cool. Now, overall for the ergos, I don't really have a whole lot of complaints other than feeling the pocket clip, but I'm not going to be doing heavy duty. I said duty. Yeah, I did it. But now I'm feeling that little bit of rock back and forth. Just a tad. I mean, it's just a little bit. Just a little bit. But I digress. It's comfortable. The ergos are pretty good on this sucker. So overall, you know, my opinion of this knife, it's a great everyday carry knife. It's a great EDC knife. It's very lightweight. You can throw it in your pocket. You don't have to use the pocket clip. Matter of fact, if you wanted, you could take the pocket clip off and just throw it in your pocket. And it's so light, it's not going to bother you whatsoever. So that's a really good thing. Things that I don't like about it, I don't say that I would have any major dislikes over this knife, other than it's a little odd how much movement I get doing that. That's just a little odd. But other than that, you know, like I said, I'm not going to be cutting down trees with it. It's a pretty good knife. You know, you can wear it in your basketball shorts. You're not going to even know it's in your pocket. So I think that overall, it's a great knife to have. And definitely, if you want to get this particular version, you can go to DLT Trading. Other than that, there's many options. You can go down below and check that out. But tell me what you guys think about this knife. This is like one of the most common knives out there. Half of you probably have it. And if you don't, do you want one? Is there something else you want to know about it? I can be sure to answer you on anything that I've learned about it. But do you want one? Just drop a line, let me know what your opinions are. But you guys, remember to live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.